Thank you for inviting us. I'm Agnes.
I'm Eddy Vajarkitpongse.
That's how you pronounce his name. And together we run LAVA, the Los Angeles Video Artists Collective. And we want to tell you today about that group. And because Eddy was one of the first members of that group when it was started 15 years ago, I'm going to let him tell you how it all started out.
Yeah. Thanks for having us here. So she said LAVA started about 15 years ago, so we're going to have a quinceañera at the end of the year this year, so you guys are all invited. But LAVA started as, even the name itself, Los Angeles Video Artists, was a group where 15 years ago, that's what you called it, was video art. And it was always meant to be an open group, to provide an open platform for a collective group of people that wanted to experiment with video and projection and programming. So we would have monthly meetups. And through the years, things got a little bit quiet, and that wasn't a bad thing. It just meant that we were actually getting jobs in these fields. We were developing the software, we were developing the hardware, we were developing, the common ground. And so now we have video artists is maybe a little dated, but we kept the name. Because now there's terms like immersive and experiential, and these things that marketing has attached themselves to. But I was asked to, being one of the people that still live in LA, I was asked to direct and program for LAVA about 2 years ago. And what we did was Agnes and I looked at what LAVA had become in all of these years, over a decade, and where was its active membership, who was still around. There was a whole community of people that had never been to a LAVA meeting but liked the name and liked the kind of the idea of it, and maybe saw a few weird videos online that we had. But we needed to put more of an emphasis onto dialogue and sharing, and not just the tech side of things. We wanted to allow the wave of technology that's present with us now to coincide now with dialogue. From artist and installation standpoint. So
we actually took a year to talk to existing members who are active and really talking about where they're at, where they're wanting to go. And what we found out is that the skills are really broad. So we wanted to keep that and use that as a good thing, as an opportunity. And what we decided to do is like several different types of programs. We have every 2 weeks a meetup, usually in a bar, and and we just meet. There's no entrance fee and nothing like that. Everybody can come. We want to get to know everybody on a personal basis, and we want to talk about what projects people are working on. And it's been now over a year that, and maybe I'm just making this up, it's been a year that we're doing this. And it was really interesting to see how many people connect at these meetings and then start projects together and develop their own projects, have questions and get answers and get inspired and so forth. So that's happening on a regular basis. And we have a meetup page on meetup.com where all the dates are published. So if you're interested in joining us, please find information there. Then we also decided to have proper art shows in real galleries as a platform for our artists to show their work and to get feedback. And it's been interesting to also see how artists who met at LAVA are then developing work for these art shows. This was the very first one that we did, and different types of applications and projects was super fun. From there, we are singling out several artists from these art shows and have them give in-depth artist talks. And then, and the art shows are fun. Like, there's way more people coming than to the LAVA meetups because they bring their friends and it's a party. And after the art shows, we're doing these in-depth talks with specific artists, and so they can show the back end of the project and really talk about how they developed the idea and how they're putting it together. And then we also do things like this. This is a BYOB event. Sorry, I'm German, I can't pronounce BNW. Anyways,
Oh, that's good fast.
So bring your own beamer is the event. We built this sculpture made for. Are you looking for?
You know, but I don't have a cursor. There we go. Oh. There we go.
There we go. So we built that sculpture in this warehouse and had whoever wanted to come bring a projector, put it on the floor or wherever you want, and just go wild with visuals. And we had DJs, and if you can figure it out, we're going to show you a video of that. It was pretty fun.
Up here? Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Okay.
Yeah, so we provided a light sound reactive sculpture and invited artists to bring your projectors. If you didn't have projectors, you could bring media, and we'd go ahead and set you up really quick, give you a crash course in projection mapping. And then what I was hoping for happened, which was that people said, you know, there's more space beyond the object, and started going onto the walls, onto the ceiling, onto the floor. And people were just lining up saying, okay, when can I get the next projection in? And Agnes has been awesome at documenting everything, which is also like another thing that we wanted to make sure that Lava had good documentation presence too. And this was one of these funny events where Lava members were meeting each other for the first time. Some were already practicing with each other. We had a couple members go like, oh, I wasn't sure if I should bring something, and then their friend said, go get your stuff, and then they brought it in, and it was an incredible thing. So somebody else brought another light sculpture too, and yeah, that was our BYOB event, and we're gonna have them more regularly too, because we killed this 3,500 square foot space, and it was just like too much. We need to get bigger. Yeah. Bring your own beamer. And that's taken from an older term in the 90s out of Europe. They call projectors beamer, and that's beamer parties and stuff in San Francisco too that have these beamer parties as well. It has a title in it. That's good. Yeah,
and then back again from the fun and the visual and playground and everything, back to sharing work, sharing ideas, talking about it, getting feedback, developing it further. We were invited by WeWork to program something in their space that serves also their artistic community who's working there. And we decided to do an event which was an evening of demos, which means, similar to today, short talks of different artists presenting their work, setting up in different spaces, and people can come in and see a bunch of stuff in one evening, hear about a lot of stuff, and then follow up or not. And
our friends Media Art Nexus was in the house that night too. So,
yeah.
We'll see a little bit of footage from that night.
Do you want to say something about that, because the music is not that important?
Well, they have title cards and stuff too. So Zephyr Man is new to Lava, but I brought old school peppers, ghosts, and CRTs. Old school Lava member, but wasn't doing VR back then, and brought VR to present, which was super great, and doing big shows. You know Dr. Mindset, of course, and the Media Art Nexus stuff. It was like schooling a few people there, trying to show them what's up with touch. And yeah, we had an interesting turnout. This was a new Lava member who is actually a martial artist, and connected through our informal meetups to get together do a full Connect reactive visual projection piece. And we all had to get out of the way because she's swinging a big bow staff around. Felix is also an original Lava member too from years ago, and he's figured out how to inject MIDI control into Chrome and make a awesome video player. Mandel doing his leap motion visuals is really funny and really great stuff. And he built this device that holds the sensor too, so it's sculptural too in that way. David messing around with flashes of video to give you a whole new sense of narrative. And then people get an applause, so it's a good thing. So that is lava in a nutshell. What we thought of when we were invited for this talk, and thinking and knowing that this is about science and art meshing together too, and what can a community bring to this? So this is an artwork called Ginger, and Ginger deals with science and art. It's a sculpture, but it's an interactive sculpture. It's a sculpture that was created out of this need to continue to create, but also to try to take a break and try to, like, meditation's really hard, so have to try to figure out ways to speed that up a little bit too, to keep the cadence going. So an investigation was done into merkabas, these esoteric spaces for self meditation, and what we did was we expanded on that design, carved a cave out into it, so more than one person can experience it. So what happens is you enter this space, and surround sound speakers are available, light frequencies are pulsing, binaural compositions are in headphones. It all is programmed to induce an alpha state within about 4 minutes. So it gets put into places of sensory overload where it's supposed to rejuvenate you to continue going on. So we got invited to Long Beach last year to Music Tastes Good, and it was great because loud music everywhere, food everywhere, people everywhere, and it turned out to be like the place to come and hang out and keep partying afterwards. So it was nice. Some video of it here. It's see people just really getting into it. I mean, and we left this video quiet on purpose because it is completely noisy, this place. We've all been to music festivals. What else did I want to say about it?
It was really interesting for me to see, even at a music festival where you can still hear the music because it's very loud, that the concept actually worked out.
Yeah.
We left inside of that Ginger little notebooks, and people who were sitting down and putting the headphones on, besides a lot of doodles, they also wrote so many things, poems, and people stayed around and hung out and really wrote some very grateful notes to us and really thoughtful comments. I mean, more about themselves, but it was really interesting for me to see how that concept that actually Eddy and your co-artist Justin Doller, they developed together this sculpture, that the concept that they made up in their minds actually works even at this loud music concert.
So yeah, it's nice to make something that it was kind of meant for us, and then to put it out there and share it, and then it actually keeps working. So it shows up at art shows, and it's living in a busy studio right now. We have plans to put it in other transit areas and
Union
so forth.
Station.
Union Station is on there too. Yeah.
Thank
you
you
so much.